Erik ten Hag may view Mason Greenwood as an easy alternative as he searches for two new strikers at Manchester United. With Erik ten Hag reportedly wanting two new strikers at Manchester United this summer, but focusing solely on Atlanta striker Rasmus Højlund, he may have already settled on an internal alternative. Mason Greenwood is expected to return to football this season, and ten Hag could be saving him a space in his squad. United's number 11 is awaiting a verdict on his future as the club conduct an internal investigation to decide whether he will play for them again after charges of attempted rape, assault and coercive control against the striker were dropped by the Crown Prosecution Service. Earlier in pre-season, ten Hag confirmed that he had informed United of his stance on Greenwood's future as he prepares for his second campaign in charge. He told reporters, "It's a club decision, and of course, I shared my opinions, but it's a club decision, and we all have to accept that, and it would make sense if ten Hag viewed Greenwood as a potential new signing this season, given the 21-year-old suspension started before his arrival." Red Devils boss Erik ten Hag has set his sights on adding further fresh faces to his squad ahead of the Premier League campaign getting underway next month. According to Mail Online, Manchester United are among a host of clubs to have expressed an interest since Mbappe was not included in the squad heading on PSG's preseason tour last week. The report suggests Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur, Inter Milan and Barcelona are also in the hunt for the attacker's signature, after he has already scored 230. Aware that Manchester United are regularly listed among Mbappe's suitors, when there are question marks over where his long-term future lies. But the Italian reporter understands the Red Devils are not in the running to secure the 24-year-old signature despite PSG actively looking to sell him. Romano told Gimsport, "Manchester United are always among the rumors when it comes to the Mbappe situation. But from what I'm told, Manchester United are not working on it as of now. The situation is very quiet there." The Moroccan, who impressed in his country's run to the Qatar 2022 World Cup semifinals, would cost about £30 million. Sofian Amrabat also fits into the profile of being a player who previously worked under Erik ten Hag during his time at FC 20. That's according to The Guardian, and, as far as we're concerned, it's a good fee to pay for someone I'd consider a strong upgrade on both Fred and Scott McTominay, let alone Donny van de Beek. Interestingly, the Manchester Evening News had a similar briefing at approximately the same time, highlighting United could move for the Fiorentina star, who has 1 year left on his current deal if they sell McTominay. Samuel Luckhurst claims Amrabat, 26, the one of 10 midfielders United shortlisted as options to improve the quality of the squad depth in midfield, but McTominay's future has been complicated by the injury Kobbie Mainoo sustained on preseason against Real Madrid midweek. Mainoo came off in the 3rd minute of the 2-0 defeat to Madrid in Houston, and he left the NRG Stadium on crutches. The Academy midfielder posted an update on Instagram on Friday evening thanking fans for the support he's received. Manchester United have rejected a £20 million bid from West Ham for England defender Harry Maguire. Hammers boss David Moyes is keen on Maguire, and has funds to spend following the £100 million sale of England midfielder Declan Rice. Maguire's Old Trafford future is uncertain after he was stripped of the captaincy by Erik ten Hag earlier this month. The Dutchman has said the move could help the 30-year-old regain his form. United would be prepared to listen to offers that match their valuation if Maguire indicated a willingness to leave. However, the centre-back is believed to currently be earning £200,000 a week at Old Trafford, which is significantly more than the highest earner at West Ham. Maguire was appointed skipper by ten Hag's predecessor Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in January 2025, months after signing for £80 million from Leicester City. The England international, who has 57 international caps, said he was extremely disappointed to lose the armband but would continue to give my all. In the shirt, Maguire played in 31 of the club's 62 matches in all competitions during the 2022-23 season. The mayor of Manchester, Andy Burnham, believes no one feels completely comfortable with the prospect of a Qatari takeover of Manchester United. Speaking to Global's news agents podcast via the Daily Mail, Burnham covered a host of issues relating to ownership of the club, from both the current owners to prospective ones. The mayor explained that he understands existing frustrations with the Glazers, saying, "I think there's a lot of people in this city would tell you there's a lot wrong with the current ownership regime there, in terms of the money that's been taken out of Manchester United over the last decade or so." But he was quick to underscore the issues a Qatari takeover would entail, contending, "These are questions that everyone's having to embrace in this Premier League era. Is all the money clean in any Premier League club?" It's a question which encapsulates the issues fundamental to nation-state investment in football. The Premier League top four, the much-coveted holy grail of league finishes, comprise Manchester City, Arsenal, Manchester United and Newcastle last season. If the Qatari bid progresses to the stage of completion, this would leave three of English football's top four teams under the stewardship of Middle Eastern owners. Abu Dhabi, Arsenal, Qatar and Saudi Arabia may be a more accurate league table in this scenario. While Manchester City, the current champions, are still awaiting judgment on the 115 charges of alleged financial breaches, Newcastle have been accused of a similar style of impropriety by their fellow Premier League clubs. Alan St-Maximin has been linked with an expensive move to the Saudi Arabian League, a league run by Saudi Arabia's PIF Investment Fund, the same entity who owned Newcastle. The waters appear murky. When the human rights abuses associated with each of these nations is considered, the water grows even murkier. Qatar's most recent connection to top-level football was the Winter World Cup, the first of its kind in the history of the sport. Though, from a competitive perspective, the tournament was excellent, with one of the greatest World Cup finals ever seeing Lionel Messi's Argentina dramatically triumph over France on penalties. Outside of the pitch, there was controversy at every stage. Allegations of corruption in how the country was able to secure the World Cup bid were rife, while human rights abuses, inflicted upon the workers who essentially built the tournament, continued to exist. Though the prospective Qatari takeover of United is said to be solely led by Sheikh Jassim, without state influence, doubts remain. He is the son of the former Prime Minister of Qatar and the current chairman of the Qatar Islamic Bank, one of the leading banks in the country. His father is heavily involved in the running of French club Paris Saint-Germain. The prospect of state influence and conflicts of interest appear impossible to avoid.